Hello students, this is the video where we are going to introduce the programming language Python, and this video is for class 11 students. Now, what is Python programming language? Python programming language is an object-oriented high-level programming language which will perform a specific task. Say, if we want to do some task, then we can program it in such a way that it will do the task very easily and efficiently. Now, Python programming has been created by Guido van in the year of 1991. Now, as we all know, our computer does not understand decimal languages. It understands only the binary. Now, to communicate with our computer, we need some encoding system, and here Python programming use ASCII characters to encode characters or decimal numbers to its equivalent binary number. Now, advantages of using Python. First is presence of third-party module. So what happened over here, it has few third-party module already installed in your Python, and by applying these, it will be capable of interacting with most of the other languages and platforms. Like using that modules, you can interact with some other language very easily. Like you can import it into some other language. Now, extensive support libraries. It has some already inbuilt library. By applying this, you can do a very large program very easily and very small line also. Like say if I want to do multiplication of two matrices, so what happened if we code it in language C or C++, we don't have that multiplication of two matrices library in C or C++ languages. So what I have to do, I have to open C++ and I have to write entire thing, and it will be very hectic and the program will be very large. But in case of Python, you have already code inbuilt. So what you have to do, you just have to put the sign in between two matrices and you will get the answer very easily without having any kind of problem. Now, open source and community development. A Python language is open source. That means it is available in internet without paying anything. Anyone can download it and anyone can learn it by themselves. Now next is learning is and support availability. As I told you, the Python language is very easy. So the syntax of Python language is also very easy. So even if the beginners can use Python language very easily without facing any trouble. Now, user-friendly data structure. So if you have that much of built-in functions in your languages, then it is very easy to use for anyone. Like for that, we can say that Python is very user-friendly programming language. Now, productivity and speed. Python has clean object-oriented design, provides enhanced process control capabilities, and possesses strong integration and text processing capabilities and its own unit testing framework, all of which contributes to the increase in its speed and productivity. So what happened? So it has its own testing framework. So whenever I will write some program, it has its own unit testing framework. So it will use that one only, and it will speed up the compilation of each program. So but we can say that productivity and speed of a Python program is very fast. Now let's start with basic Python program. Here we are going to learn how to develop a Python program, and how to download a Python program. Even after downloading the Python program, how to write a Python program. Let's start. Now here I have already gone to the website, which is www.python.org. Here it is the Python's own website. Here you will get the option to download Python, the latest version, which is 3.8.2. You can download it in your computer and you just have to run it in your computer. Now here in my computer it is already downloaded, so I am not going to download it again. So you can use that website to install your Python in your machine. Now after installing Python, what we can do, we can go over there and search for. Now here I can search for Python and I got, ideally here just clicking on it, it will just open in your machine. Now I got the environment where I can write the program. Now what I want to write, I just want to print hello world. Now I will write print within bracket in the quotation hello world, quotation close, bracket close, and enter. See, here I did a mistake. What mistake I did, we have to find it out. So here, see, here I have written print P as capital. So from that we can say that Python is a case sensitive language too. So in case of writing a print in small, if we write it in capital, see the color is not getting changed. Here it is black and here it is something else colors. So we can say that it is a case sensitive language too. So if I write print P capital instead of writing it in small, so it will going to throw you an error. Now even if we want to like add some numbers, say 5 plus 3, that also we can do directly over here. So that these are the environment we have to write our code, and just by clicking the enter button, it will going to show you the result over here. Now let's start with the next slide. Here we have completed till this point. Now after that we are going to start with token in a Python. Now we have to understand the meaning of token. So what is token? Token is basically a token is basically a logical line and the smallest logical line. Say print hello world, it will going to break print hello world in two separate sections. First one is print, which is itself a token, and then after it will separate hello world from print, and hello world it's a character set which is a separate token. So Python breaks each logical line into small component, which each component is called a token. Now for example, we have taken print text is a single identifier. To write the keyword print followed by the identifier s, you need to insert some white space like print space x. See, if I use print text like print without having any white space, if I write x, so it will going to throw you an error. So it is, there are two separate token are there. One is print and one is x. So to separate them, we need to put some white space in between these two tokens. So I think the concept of token is clear. So what Python do, it takes a logical line, it separates each of the keywords separately and makes it's a single token. Next is identifier in a Python. An identifier is a name used to identify a variable, function, class, module, or other object. So if I use a variable starts with something like character, say the name of the variable is ABC, it's an identifier. If I use a function, say a user defined function, it's an identifier. If I use a class, it's an identifier. So whatever we are going to use in our program to identify something, it's an identifier for Python programming. Now there are some rules by which we can give a name of an identifier. So whenever we are going to give a name of an identifier, we have to start with any of the character. We can't start with a special symbol. We can't start with any kind of operators like plus, into, minus. That sign we can't use. We have to use any of the character like either capital A to Z or small a to Z we have to use. Now after that you can put underscore only. You can put only underscore. You cannot put any of the special character except underscore. Now you can put the number from 0 to 9 over there. So As I have already told you, in case of Python, lowercase and uppercase letter are distinct. If you write something in uppercase and if you are searching for something, that same word in lowercase, it will not going to show you the result. As the uppercase identifier is absolutely different from the lowercase identifier. And your Python identifier does not allow you to put any kind of special character within it. So as we give the name of a PowerPoint presentation, as the rules of giving the name of a Word file, the rules are same over here also. You have to start with any of the character, followed by you can put underscore only, and you can put any number from 0 to 9, but you cannot start with character, you cannot start with any of the number. Next is keyword in Python. Like in case of Python, there are not even in case of Python, in every language they have some inbuilt keywords. Like you cannot use that word as your identifier. Like if, else if, for, while, these all are inbuilt identifiers which you cannot use. It's a reserved keyword which has a separate meaning which is written in the header files. Let's say if I take an example of for, it has a separate meaning and the definition of for is already written in the header file of Python. You cannot use for in a different way. You cannot change the name of for by using some other name. You cannot use any of the predefined keyword as your identifier. Then it will going to throw you an error. Now operators in Python. Python use non-alphanumeric characters and character combination as operator. Now there are few operators we have written over here as we are going to discuss. Few are very common to us, that plus for addition, minus for subtraction, into for multiplication, slash for division, and then after greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to, that equal to means equal to, that means the left hand side is equal with the right hand side, and the last one is not equal to, but we don't know about this part. The double slash is equal to integer division. If I even want to divide two number like 5 double slash 2, it will going to give you the result as 2. It will take only the integer value. It will like remove the fractional part. Then star means power. That means exponent. Like if I write 2 star 3, it will going to calculate 2 to the power 3. Right, these are the basic operators we have in Python, and except this we have few other operators also which we will discuss in our upcoming videos when we will learn operators in details. Now next, how to comment the line in Python. Say what happened, say there are few developers, those who are developing some code in Python. So what we do, we write our code and we write the work of that module. Like say if I written say 100 lines of code and I have to write the purpose of writing that code. Otherwise when some other developer will come, they will get confused that what is the purpose of that 100 lines. So we have to write the purpose of that code. Say take a very easy example of, say if we want to develop a basic calculator. There should be 4 different modules. If I consider a basic calculator, addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So when someone is writing the code for addition, they have to write before the module or even after the module, the purpose of this module is adding 2 number, or the purpose of this module is addition. So if I write this line and if I start compile the program, your computer will throw an error that this is not a token. It does not, your Python will not going to identify what is written over here. So what we have to do, we have to comment that line. That means commenting that line means it will not going to execute that line. Whenever we are going to comment any of the line in Python, your Python compiler will not going to execute that line. So if we want to comment a single line, we can use hash. If we, as the example is given over here, hash. By applying just a hash before the line, you can comment a single line, and it will going to comment the entire line easily. Now if I want to comment more than one line, say I have described what I did in that module, how I did that module, so everything I want to write, so it will take more than one line. So in that case we have to put that sign, three double quotation together, beginning of the text and end of the text. So it will understand this at the comment section, and your Python will not going to execute that part. Now I think the commenting a line in Python is clear. If it is a single line, you can use a single hash only, and if it is more than one line, you have to use double quotation 3 times. Beginning of the text and the end of the text. Now data types is Python. Now data type, what is data type? Data type are the classification or categorization of data item. If we want to develop something in Python, we have to give some data to our computer. So what kind of data I am giving, your computer has to recognize. So data types is a type of the classification or categorization of the data items what our user is giving. Now there are few types of data types available in Python. First is numeric, which will take the number data only. It can be int, it can be float, it can be complex. In case of int, it will take the whole number, either 1 or 2 or 3, like that. If it is float, then it will take a fractional number. If you can write a number in using decimal point, it can be 5.1, it can be 5.6, like that way. And complex number, it will take the number as x plus ij. As we write a complex number, x plus I or x plus jy, that format, it will take the number in that way, and it can add complex number too. Only the Python is a programming language which support complex number, and it will be available, it will allow you to add two complex number in Python programming. And our next data type is sequence type. It takes the string type of data, but we can take numbers also. Sequence is a ordered collection of similar or different types of data. Now what we understand by using the term ordered collection, only array, but Python does not have the word array. Here we use different other things instead of using array over here. The string is very clear to all of us. It's a collection of one or more characters. Putting them in a single quotation or double quotation, we will understand it's a string. Now in case of list, a list object is an ordered collection of one or more data items, not necessarily of same type, put in a square bracket. So by just using a square bracket, you can put different data types element together. It is an ordered collection. Now the details of list we will discuss in upcoming videos when we will discuss the functions of list. Now tuple is something like list only, but it has some other functions also. But in case of tuple, we have to put the parenthesis instead of using square bracket. But it is also ordered collection, and it can also store different data items of different data types. Now next is dictionary. Dictionary object is an ordered collection of data item, but here we store the data value as key value pair. In case of dictionary, what we do, we search for a key, and find the value of that key. Say in case of English to Bengali dictionary or any kind of dictionary, say we have a specific word, what we are searching for, we want the meaning of that specific word, we'll search for that key and we'll get the meaning just when we'll get the key value. That is the concept of dictionary too. Here we have to put the key, colon, and the value. Like that way we can store in our dictionary. And here we have to use curly brackets, and it is also a collection, or it is an unordered collection of data item. It is not at all an ordered collection of data item where you can combine, or you can collect the data in just using the key value pair. Now next is Boolean. We understand the concept of Boolean very easily. It takes either true or false. But you notice one thing here, true and false, you have to put T and F in capital. If you put the T and F of true and false in small, your Python will going to throw you an error because it understands only the true T capital and false F capital. Now we have discussed about the basic of Python already. Now we will going to start of the little more depth with Python programming. We will start doing some programming over here in our upcoming videos, but I think the concept of Python, how it works and how it takes the value, that's are clear to you. In our upcoming videos we are going to discuss about in more details of Python programming. Thank you for listening. For bye for now and be safe.